Alrighty, so first up today, we are going to be taking a look at Hidden. This is going to be his first time ever submitting something to the Match Critique stream, and we're actually not going to be having a duck hunt for this one. So this is going to be a Ryu player, and this is a Ryu Ditto as well. So unfortunately, I am very unfamiliar with how this Ditto works, but like if we're just going by Street Fighter logic, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a pretty basic thing. You know, you both have the same exact tools, so the Hadouken's going to work as well against one versus the other. A lot of footsies. There's no cross-ups just because, you know, you ought to do the auto turnarounds and all that stuff, so you're not really going to be focusing on that. And with the way that Ryu plays, with the amount of shield stun that you do, you should be able to, like, shield cross-ups into shield pressure. So even if he does drop shield, like, I'm pretty sure you're still going to be able to hit him. Like, maybe you might be able to get a Shoryuken out to help counter that and all that stuff, but you're really only going to be throwing that out when it's useful and when you want to kill with it, for the most part, is what I assume. But like outside of that, really, we're just going to be judging them on mostly their neutral and fundamentals, because I think that's what this is going to come down to. And the other thing too, obviously, is going to be your combo execution. That's like one of the really, really important aspects of playing Ryu. And we'll definitely see that come to use here. Focus attack is going to be very viable as well, just because Ryu doesn't really have multi-hit moves. So I imagine there's going to be a lot of moments where he's going to be able to do that and just like kind of cancel into something else that'll be like really, really devastating. So we'll see if we get uses of that. Probably overall it's going to be more focused on the movement than anything. And about the only things that I can see happening is if somehow like Wi-Fi like delays inputs or something like that, then that could be an issue. But with the way that buffering works in this game, I wouldn't be surprised if you can kind of get around that with a lot of the ways that Ryu combos work. But always a chance I could be wrong with it. So let's see what happens. Also, as always, do keep me updated on if the audio is good. I do want to make sure that everything is balanced properly for that. Wow, this is very low. Okay, since this is that low, we're just going to have background music instead. Okay. Alright, hold up. Let me check. He told me which Ryu he was. I think he said he was the blue Ryu? Blue Ryu. Okay. Also, yeah, Hidden, if you are in here, do let me know so I can talk with you if you want to interact with me as this is going on. So yeah, the one that we're going to be focusing on is player 1. Honestly, that delta stretches out a little bit farther. Whoa! Yo, he had perfect spacing on that focus attack to get around that. That was kind of funny. I would definitely be a little bit cautious about doing that high Shoryuken. You weren't really at death percent, so at least on that aspect I wouldn't be too worried. But oh yeah, you can shield break that. Yeah, at that moment, like he basically just kind of out-pressured you at that point, and you never really got your footing again. That's what you do. Definitely know your kill percents, but if that was like kind of the best thing you could do, that's not bad. Good recognition that you could just kind of out-prioritize him there. So even if you traded with that Tatsu, strongly in your favor at that point. Yeah, keep in mind, like, if you decide to neutral jump in place, he's not really going to be able to do anything to chase you with Hadouken, so not a bad way to, like, just kind of keep your shield fresh. Unfortunately, you didn't go into a combo start, it looks like, or you had issues getting out something afterwards. So I'm pretty sure you can cancel any of your attacks into, like, at least into a special at the very least. You could probably done that into like a Tatsu and been safe. That was a hard call on his part. The other thing too is like that looked like an execution error from your part, because it looked like you didn't really jump into him with an attack, but I'm not sure if that was like a true follow-up that you had. If it wasn't, then he just knew at that point. You got to make sure you understand what your true combos are when you're at that death percent. Yeah, see, like right there, that's kind of what I was talking about. Even if you did a cross-up with that, he is going to be able to Shoryuken you. Yeah, now he's just doing it. The good thing about him doing that, though, is it is going to stale how effective it is, because like you can kind of see right now, he's really not doing a lot of knockback to you anymore. Okay, but he might have been doing a weaker input of it as well. That's the other thing I have to consider. But the thing is, like, I'm pretty sure if you do the weaker input, that's still going to stale the actual move itself. And the other thing, too, is this. So, if he's going to keep disrespectfully doing Shoryukens out of shield, one thing that you can do to him back is that just, like, bait it out like land with fair except spaced, so then that way he can't hit you when he's doing it out. Because I wouldn't be surprised if you can do that. Oh, let me double check. I don't actually know how big this hitbox is. Yeah, so this hitbox itself is not that large. So if you can space perfectly against the shield, I think this will miss you. So see if you can do that. Like, find any way that you can to bait out the Shoryuken so it doesn't hit you. At least in the Ditto, because he was doing that a lot to you. Yeah, right now it's doing the double click thing. That's why it's like deselecting. Oh my god, stop. Please stop doing this. There we go. Now we're good. At that point, remember, Ryu's is only a single hit, so the second hits your shield, you can just drop shield and chase him. And yeah, you're gone. Yeah, so that's one thing that he was abusing against you that you weren't trying to abuse against him, is like just how easily he can break shields if you're holding too long. So you needed to catch on to that. Ooh, that was really good on his part. Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like if you're pressuring him, you want to make sure that you're going for like low commitment things that can like immediately buffer into something else. Obviously, Shoryuken's going to be frame 1 invincibility, so that you can't really do too much about. But like the rest of his moves, you definitely can. And honestly, I can't tell if like Ryu's Shoryuken doesn't auto snap at the top, but if it doesn't, that's something you can abuse quite a bit. Okay, yeah, no, it does auto snap. I was pretty sure it did. Yeah, remember, rolling around him's kind of a bit useless just because you're going to automatically face him, so I wouldn't really focus on doing strategies like that. Oh, Gala on your part right there. That was actually a pretty risky grab for the most part, because like he was just landing right in front of you, and he could have done so many things. And that looked like a misinput right there. I guess as you were trying to shore you. That was super risky. I mean, something you gotta remember is that like Ryu's not gonna really have anything to like kill him via edge guard. So for the most part, you should be able to recover just fine. Just worry about getting to ledge and then like doing shenanigans to catch him when he's getting on stage. I would not ever really be worried about trying to edge guard yourself. Oh man, it looks like you did the strong one instead of like the weak version of down tilt. Because if you did the weak one, I think you could have pressured him. I've never seen that kill. That's actually an amazing kill throw when you get that to happen. Yeah, good DI there. Ooh, good bait. Oh man, you just gave up your pressure there. Yeah, no need to get so antsy. Like you're in a pretty good spot. If he kills you, he kills you at this point. Oh man, he called you out there. I honestly thought like the red fireball was going to catch him too, so that was a little upsetting that you weren't able to capitalize off of that. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's not really a reason for you to recover high in this matchup at all. Like, for the most part, if you could just focus on going to ledge, you should be okay. Like, from recovering below. Going with, like, a Tatsu, like, right to the ledge like that, that's pretty easy for you to edge guard. But if you go low, Ryu doesn't really have anything to cover that. Oh, yeah, Dawangthang country music's amazing. And I should be playing this Donkey Kong Country either tomorrow or Thursday. I think I might do my Donkey Kong stream tomorrow instead. That nonsense with the intangibility on the legs. That looks so stupid. I mean, the good thing about doing that is it did keep you safe from the hitbox. So in that sense, that wasn't a bad strategy, actually. It's just like, if you do that, just keep in mind like what hard punish you want to go for afterwards. Honestly, like what I felt like that match came down to was like some bad decisions on the recovery and not capitalizing enough on your punishes that you had. Like I feel like the Ryu you're fighting against is just pushing the punishes a lot further than you are in general. Oh, that was unfortunate. I'm not sure if you meant to do the dash back off of that. Here, we cut your jump there. Okay, good fake out. And honestly, something that you need to learn is like the timings that you have with your Hadoukens, because like there's a lot of jump ins that he's doing, and you're throwing up shield instead of just like pressuring him coming in. Because like there's like a couple of spacings that he's doing where you can definitely get the frame advantage over him, but you're not taking advantage of that. Let's see. Wow, that goes so far. Yeah, if he's willing to do parries out of shield, then that kind of changes the type of game that you can play against him. Because before he wasn't doing that. Before he was just doing shield into Shoryuken. Ooh, yeah, that was a really good focus attack right there. Yeah, see, okay, this is something that you need to... I hate this. See what I mean? Double clicks from my mouse. It just does things like that. Okay. You need to recognize this spacing that you have right here. Because, like, you're not taking advantage of the fact that, like, he's falling into a space where you clearly have frame advantage over him. And you could just be covering this area with, like, a very, very strong hitbox to, like, immediately challenge anything that he does. Most of the time when you're in this zone, like, you throw up shield instead. Yeah, see, like that. Like, instead of, like, saying, like, hey, if you jump in here, you're automatically going to get punished, you're like, oh, wait, what are you doing? Just remember, if he's in these specific zones, he should be punished for doing it. Yeah. And that's the thing there, like, you had the punish with the focus attack, but you decided to cancel it too. So it's like, I'm not even sure what you're trying to go for with these things. Like, when you went for that focus attack, it seems like you were only thinking about armoring the hit, but you weren't thinking about landing the focus attack. You know, you should honestly just believe in, like, you know, what your attacks can do in the situations that you're used. That would... Oh, wait, we're just looking at it like this. I guess it is a first. Oh, it is a first attack, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was a 34-minute VOD, so it was like either a very long best of 5 or a first attack. Considering it's a Ryu Ditto, these are going to go pretty fast. No. Okay. Okay, good. I thought you were just going to go for, like, super YOLO deep, but you covered yourself. And you both have been very willing to just, like, do that little, oh god, what do you call that? Overshoot, your overshoot Shoryukens. So kind of play around that. Just, like, kind of hold down, wait for the fist to come out, and then, like, down smash it or something. Because, like, you can't hit his fist when he's coming up like that. And while, like, edge guards can look cool, but it's just, like, I don't know, Ryu just doesn't have the best edge guarding tools. So I wouldn't really ever focus on that. Focus on just controlling the ledge. Ooh, good catch there. See, okay, yeah, like right there. Right there, I'm pretty sure he left himself vulnerable. Let's look at that frame by frame. And the fact that it's just so easy for you to dash back and space it too, that adds so much to it. God, that looks so weird. Yeah, see, look, his fist comes out right here. So if you just camped like right about here and then like charge down smash, then you could just like whip him for like remotely trying to hold down. And the good thing is like down smash is like a low, like it has like a good enough faff that like even if you do miss your down smash, he shouldn't be able to punish you. Like you should be able to throw up a shield. Okay, good that you got your punish there. Also, you haven't been BMing him with Shoryu as well. That's something that I've noticed. Like, he's taking advantage of, like, a lot of defensive capabilities that you aren't. Yeah, the good thing you didn't approach him on the platform because, like, at 0%, there was no reason for you to put yourself in that bad of a position. Yeah, you don't have any true combos off of that. So, what you did right there was actually very wasteful. So, let's look at this. So, down throw. Don't jump into him because like he's already gonna be gone. There's no world where as long as he's breathing, your jump forward air or your jump nair, what was it? Jump back air. There's no way that jump back air is gonna connect. As long as he's a living being that can press a button on a controller, that's not working. So what you do is control the ground, walk forward a little bit, and see what he does. So if he jumps up, then you can just like dash back, prepare for his attack, and then like counter that way. Or if he like air dodges down, then you can get like a confirm that way. If he comes down with an attack, then as long as you space correctly, like outside of his like hitbox zone, then you can punish that accordingly as well. Like at that low percent, you're in a really good area and like he has to burn a resource to come down. So it's like either he hopefully gets his rate, but you're in way more control to determine what he can get away with and what. So as long as you're ready and like willing to watch what he does, you can punish every single option that he goes for. Just that down throw, just wait on the ground and just see where he goes. Don't be so antsy to go where he is. So for example, if you're trying to hit Ryu right over here and he's over here, Ryu's going to be on the ground or he's going to be jumping away. You never aim for where they are. You always got to aim for where they will be. So always keep that in mind. Oh, you got lucky there. See, like that wasn't the best punish you could have gotten there. But the good thing about that is, like, you kept your safe space. So let's look at this. Okay, so you decided to do, like, another dash away to, like, get extra far. And then you decided to buffer a Hadouken. So in this case, you're at least controlling the ground. And from this position, he doesn't really have any way to punish you. So this is a pretty safe way just to get damage. But what if you didn't throw that Hadouken there? What could you have done in this instance? So if you didn't do that dash away, you could have found yourself like right over here and just slowly walked back. Because like with this Nair, he's probably locked into this. So as long as he recognized he was coming down with an attack, you could have just like set up like an F smash or like a really good combo starter. So that way you could do extra damage, drag him off stage and like hit him with some strong finisher. Or just do like a very strong punish there. So you gotta think about a lot of that, like a lot of things like about that. Like here, I'm more assuming that you're guessing him that he was gonna go lower and then you were gonna jump and cover that with Hadouken. But like this thing is like kind of based off of information that isn't really too relevant anymore. Yeah. And the good thing is like, you know, you were able to get your punish that way. Wait, what did you do after that fireball? Oh wait, that was you that was off stage. Oh, my bad. Was it? Wait, was it? I could have sworn. Maybe I had it backwards. Hold up. My bad if I had it backwards for a second. I think I did have it backwards. Oops. No, I did. Okay. Okay, so you're doing a good job of actually holding center there. So you at least were doing that. That was the main thing that you needed. Yeah, the other thing too is like learn how to counter your nair, because like your nair is not that big. That's a pretty easy hitbox to get around. Okay, so let's look at this. This is what your nair looks like. It's basically beating out nothing. So if you can go from air to air, Fair's going to do a very good job of just like kind of dominating this from the side. Because if you look at your Fair, that's way more disjointed than this. Back air will do it as well, but that's a little bit harder to get out. Up air, yeah. So because your up air is intangible, if you see him coming down with nair, you can just use this to straight up win as well. So you honestly have a lot of ways to counter this nair. You don't really have to just like sit there, wait, and wait for him to land. Just keep that in mind. Okay. Yeah. And then like he's also like the person you're fighting is also doing a lot of the easy confirms like jab jab Shoryu. Where it's like, I don't feel like you're going for things like that nearly as often. Okay, easy conversion there. Again, like, he's going high quite a lot with that Shoryuken, so as long as you're paying attention to that, you can just literally wait there and then, like, down smash him. That was getting a little funky. Yeah, I honestly don't know what your death percents are. I felt like Shoryuken would have killed there, but I might be wrong. No. Good thing you did the shortened one there, because yeah, that wasn't going to work otherwise. I mean, that just wasn't going to work in general. Okay, good clean up there. Let's see what you got. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the thing that sucks is, like, even if you crossed him up, he still would have had just as easy as a punish, because he just has to drop shield. He doesn't even have to think about what his inputs are going to be. Yeah, so really watch when you're using that top two. You don't want to be using it into a position where you're putting yourself cornered, because that makes it really easy to punish. Also know you could just drop shield and do, like, literally any attack, and that fireball's not safe point blank. He can't punish you for doing that on shield. If you do fire Hadouken on shield, that's negative 17 on shield. So yeah, you can drop shield and like down tilt him or jab him. Both are fine. Both are fine options to go for. Called you out there. Yeah, no. Yeah, you're way too antsy pressing your buttons. Cause like, oh, what was that? No, nothing I'm missing. But yeah, like there's no reason to like rush to push an option. Cause like I'm pretty sure your own buttons don't hit you on ledge hang. So I don't even think that's like an issue you have to worry about. Yeah, you have to remember, like, when you do that to people, you always look for the spot dodgers, Ryu. So, in those instances, you roll out. Oh, and you went for, like, the strong down tilt instead. So, yeah, he was able to get you that way. Yeah, that was a good move by him. You have to realize, like, if they go for the short Shoryu and you do, like, a double jump away, you're probably not going to be able to punish that. Yeah, I was about to say, please don't drop that one. That's a very easy Shoryu. You don't even have to do the input. Again, like, he's calling you out spot dodging a lot, so you need to be way more attentive about that habit. Also, he did kind of throw you in a corner there, so I'm not sure if you can roll it out. Like, remember, if he's hitting your shield, just Shoryuken him away. Because, like, that way you have frame 1 invincibility, and you can just stop the pressure from working. Ooh, good call out there. Yeah. Generally, I mean, that's very much a YOLO option. It's just that you have to be very confident where they're going to be, and they're not going to have a hitbox there. Or if you do, you trade. There we go. We went for the weak one. Because he's been also landing a lot with focus attack on your shield, and you're not responding with like the quick options to beat it out. Yeah, he called you out again. Because like at that point, there was like no risk for him to go for that. He's only at 10%. So you need to play with like the risk reward factor. Like I feel like you only have one mode of playing, and it's like you're always just playing to get damage and kill at the same time, which is a very bad way of playing. And you don't change your play style based on what your percents are. So like your defensive game needs a lot of work and recognition of what you realistically can do and what risk rewards are in your favor at the moment. Okay, so this is a thing. Let's talk about neutral, where you guys are just like spamming fireballs at each other. So if you're a very impatient player, I would highly advise you just learning patience. So just keep spamming the fireballs, because at this point, like, you would just basically keep clanking out. You keep keeping it even, and eventually you're as long as you have the diligence of, I'm going to sit here and do absolutely nothing, and there's absolutely nothing you can make me do to come over there and touch you, your opponent is probably 95% of the time is going to be the one that approaches you at that point. Like, even if they're playing Sonic, like if you're just straight up not approaching them, they will come to you. Just because most people don't have that mentality and mental fortitude to go to. If you're playing high level or top level players, they have that mentality. But like most players that you're gonna just fight online, most likely not, and even in a tournament. So I'd highly encourage you to like just kind of ground yourself into that position, because like if they're approaching you, they are approaching you with their attacks and their mobility, which means they're making some type of commitment there. And with those type of things, then when they make that commitment, you could basically make a guess of like, okay, they're doing this, and I can throw this option out in order to cover that. You can get a way more guaranteed outcome of what's going to happen here. So let's look at what happens here. So you decide to challenge him, and then you decide to Hadouken him back, which like at that point when you're that close, if you weren't ready to like do a regular fireball, then it really wasn't worth it at that point. At this point right now, where you guys are, if he throws out a fireball, you could jump over it and punish him. You're close enough for that now. You kind of need to recognize those ranges, especially when you're playing the Ditto, and especially if you're doing a heavy fireball game. If you haven't watched Corey Gaming's video on Way of the Hadouken, you just need to watch that video. Just especially for understanding this Ditto, because like out of all the ones, it applies to this the most. But just understanding what the fireball game is and what it does, like you need to understand that video. If there's one thing you can watch, make sure you watch that one. So at this point, you can stay here and feel pretty comfortable. If he decides to commit to something like a Hadouken, then you can respond to it and punish him. And if you do the same to him, he can do the same to you. So at this point, I would just like stay around here and play footsies and just kind of see gather what type of things that he likes to do. In this case, he kind of has you sort of figured out. If he decides to approach you, there's going to be a pretty good chance that you're going to spam like strong down tilt, and you're going to hold shield. It's like one or the other option, especially if you throw a Hadouken out and he jumps over it. But in this case, you decide to come to him. And notice this. I was telling you about like the empty hops, and now he empty hops your or neutral jumped. He neutral jumped your Hadouken just to have you come in. So now at this spot, you don't really have a solid punish on him. You could throw out a Shoryuken to like hit him with the weak part, but like honestly, you might be able to like take the hit and punish him for that. And then he decided, and because like you weren't really recognizing that he was going to do that neutral jump, he was able to see that and then come down with a neutral air, because that comes out super quick, and now he's able to get a punish on you. And that's like 101 footsies of like playing with all the axes there. Because like in this game, he has access to a double jump, so that full jump there is like not really a huge commitment. Like that's a soft commitment there. And because like that's basically just like a soft footsies commitment, once he saw you go for that commitment with the down tilt, he was able to just be like, okay, I got that punish right there. So you need to be watching your opponent and what they're doing, and you really need to formulate around that. Like right now, it doesn't seem like you're watching your opponent at all. Again, when he approaches you, you're always shielding every time. And that's the other reason why he's been able to get so many of those shield breaks on you too. Oh, you got lucky. He wasn't quick enough to respond to that. And the other thing too that you should take note of is that he's been falling down with like aerials like 95% of the time. So in an instance like right here, if you were like after you hit him with that, there's a good chance he's going to come down with attack. You could have buffered a focus attack, so then that way when he comes down, you can armor it and then just like hit him with that. Or if you want to go for parry into any of your normals, you could have done that as well. But you know, at least you got around him and you got the grab. Good focus there because like he was definitely trying to go for the spike. Yeah, see, you're shielding way too much. Like, use those empty hops, because then that way your shield won't be in like such a dire situation there. Oh, you're finally here. Took you a while. Okay, finally got a little bit of a confirm. So at least one thing that's lucky for you is like he stopped using that Shoryuken, the Shoryuken defense over there. Yeah, you really need to stop spot dodging. You should know spot dodging does not work against your character. Like if you have space to roll back, you gotta roll back. If you roll in, then he can down tilt you again. That's pretty much it. You're doing that or you're jumping. Those are your two options that you have there. Yeah, I said 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm assuming you're Central Time at that point. That's why I always put 7 p.m. EST. So always look for that. Always look for that. Okay, you're able to get the little Shoryuken there. But don't worry, all these things are recorded and posted on YouTube too, so you'll be able to watch it. Finally! I feel like it's been... I don't think I've seen you do that at all so far. Yeah, at that point, you're at the distance where as long as you jump over Hadouken, he can punch you for that. No, that wasn't true. That was so... Oh, no, that was not... What you were going for was should have just, like, gotten you killed. Like... After he did that Shoryuken, he was going to be safe there because like there's way too much unlike after the focus attack there. That was like the last place that you wanted to be, but he just wasn't expecting that. So you got lucky there. Yeah. Yeah, I always remember that you can just focus attack the get up attack and then just like dash in the direction that to follow them. Don't ever do that. Just edge guarding a 3U is just not good. Okay, finally we capitalized on one of those. I feel like there's like so many of those that you've been missing. That was really good spacing on that Nair there, because like most of the time you've been doing aerials on his shield, you've been doing it into him, and he can always auto punish that. But that one was, I don't know if he actually had a punish that he could have done unless like he did parry down smash. Yeah, you're still not like, okay, like you had a really good position there, but you're not taking advantage of this. So, oh, did I go back too far? Yeah, so like I have no idea why you decided to jump here, because like after you did that and you did the fireball, you want to be like right kind of where Tortimer is, and then if he throws out any attack, then you can just like buffer a retaliation immediately from there and just like beat him out with like, you know, either down smash, charge an F smash if you want to, do Tatsu, or do like dash down tilt. Like any of those things would have been fine. Again, it's just like, yeah, you're really not watching your opponent whenever you're playing neutral. Yeah, okay. I'm happy you didn't really go for a commitment there, but wasn't really too much you could do in that position. You just made a good call out on your escape option. see. So, something that I want to say, like, right here is that, like, the Ryu that's going to basically come out on top every single time is going to be the one that's not making any of these hard commitments at all. Like, literally, if you just spent your time, like, doing, like walking and doing, like, the little, like, dash forwards and backwards, then the second that, like, one makes a commitment with, like, a jump-in aerial, you'll be able to punish them, like, every single time. So just, like, focus on staying grounded and just being patient. Just use your movement. Because, like, your movement, and as long as you're in the right position when they throw out an attack, you can punish them. Because, like, let's look at that, like the fair that you do right here. Yeah, it was that one right there. So let me show you, like, how big of a commit this is. So from here, you jumped, and now you input fair. So notice how you're all the way over here, and from here to here, you can't do anything. You are permanently locked to this position. So, like, if he literally just decided to, like, walk back a little bit, he could do, like... Actually, maybe he did... Yeah, I think he had to, like, walk back, like, a pixel. He could have done, like, down tilts or, like, down smash, strong down tilt. Even, like, parry into something and just, like, punish what you're doing here. Just because, like, from this moment, as long as I see you do a jump in and I'm just staying patient and I'm watching what you're doing, then I can immediately punish that. You really don't want to be doing, like, these huge commitment jump ins with aerials, just because, like, it's really, really easy to punish. On Wi-Fi, it's going to be a little bit harder. I'll always give you, like, points for that. But at the same time, like, this is like basically the equivalent of, like, throwing your entire body through a slingshot and yelling, like, hey, I'm throwing myself at you. Like, this is a really easy option to call out, but you're at least for you at the moment, like, your opponent's a little bit more focused on buttons, but they're a lot more aware of their defensive game. So that's kind of been the main reason why they've been able to, like, take you out a lot more. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, Sweet Spot Mario Smash is pretty good. Yeah, I like that you're not going for, like, super early commitments. Yeah, see, like, that Hadouken made absolutely no sense. Like, when you're this close to an opponent, that is unsafe range for the Hadouken. Like, if you have not watched Koei Gaming's Way of the Hadouken video, please make sure you watch that, because that'll explain so much about, like, how Ryu and just, like, general fighting games work. So please make sure you do that, because, like, I think if you understand those concepts a lot more, you'll be way more careful about how you're throwing out these Hadoukens, and you'll know how to fight Hadoukens a lot better, and how to utilize them in your actual game. Yeah, so he tried to get the punish on you. It's just that you actually tripped up the auto turnaround there, which is kind of neat. Yeah, he was able to get that there. All right. I think that was 5 games overall. I'll do one more since you're here, and then I'll stop this recording. Okay, FT. So let's see what happens here. Yeah, again, like, look how far away he can be and still punish you. Oh wait, no, you were right next to him. Holy crap! Yeah, that was not safe at all. I mean, you really need to, like, watch. Like, when you're throwing Hadoukens, you want him to be, like, half stage. You don't want them to be that close. It's way too unsafe to do that. See, like, okay, you letting go of shield at that time was not bad, just because you would have probably parried him and then been able to do an attack there. Here, holding shield until, like, he gets to, like, right around your head and letting go then, that would basically allow you to parry any single attack he would be able to come down with at that point, and then automatically get a punish on him. But because you don't do that, he just gets the attack on you because you do that dash back. Oh man, this thing is glitching out. Oh, yeah. And unfortunately, you didn't have the space for that. Sure you can. Yeah, you at least did like a good maneuvering there at the end. But yeah, that's why you got to be a little bit careful about doing like, just like doing the Tatsu into the fireballs. Like you want to go like against Ryu, it's just not a bad idea to go below ledge. God, this is getting really hard. Yeah, I can't tell you what you're doing right or wrong at the moment. Okay, we're back. Good catch there. Yeah, like that's something that he was doing a lot. Like he was going hot, he was going overshooting the ledge, and you could have punished him with attacks like that the entire time. Not every single time, but I'd say like 70% of his ledge recovery. Oh god. That was unfortunate. Yeah, no, I can see. Oh boy. Yeah, again, remember, like, between all that pressure, you can't do a Shoryuken out of shields and just punish that. So you take a page out of his book. And see, yeah, as long as you have your parries down, you can just like just auto punish like all of Ryu's stuff that way too. Yeah, we're definitely gonna quit it after this one. Oh god. Okay, well, at least we got to end it on whatever that freeze frame was. Oh, that was unfortunate. But yeah, okay. So, also about my thoughts, because like they didn't really change throughout the entirety of it. Basically, you need to work on the concept of neutral quite a bit, and I don't know how much of the execution error was Wi-Fi or your own understanding of like Ryu execution in terms of like combos and all that stuff. But like those are definitely the two things that suffer the most. And like if you don't have like your execution down with Ryu like that, you basically aren't really being able to play the character at that point. So definitely in terms of neutral, understand what the Hadouken game is and like when it's safe to throw out fireballs and why you're throwing out fireballs. Because like you're kind of doing it to hit them with the Hadouken, but that's like 10% of the reason why you throw out a Hadouken. You're mostly doing it to make them move and like to either jump or to come towards you or to like jump in place. That's the main reason why you throw those out. You don't throw it out because you want to hit them with the fireball. That's not the whole game about that. So understand what the whole mentality and mind game is behind that and when to throw it out. So that Core gaming video, Way of the Hadouken, make sure you watch that because that's going to help you out significantly. And like the more that you understand the concept, just the better you're going to get at Smash in general and especially at this Ditto too. The other thing too is that like work on your defensive game. It's really, really bad. You have a lot of like extreme glaring habits of what you always do. So if someone approaches you, you shield. And if they're hitting your shield, you spot dodge. Those are like two guarantees that were always happening. And so like early on, he was able to get a lot of shield breaks on you that way. He didn't try to do that again later on, which I'm kind of surprised because like he definitely could have gotten away with it. And the other thing too is you know, when he is doing those shield pressures, like just learn to do Shoryuken out of shield because like, you know, because that intangibility is frame 1, literally the second that shield drops, like you're just going to be able to auto punish them as long as if they're within range. If they're doing like a tilt with like a sword or something like that, different story. But like if they're up against you doing like something with like their foot or something like that and you can't hit them with the Shoryuken, just do it, let it rip. So then that way it's like you can discourage them from doing that and then you can just like consistently just relieve that shield pressure off of you. And the thing too is like, at least in this Ditto, when he was doing that to you, you weren't trying to bait that out at all. Just because like he was so consistent with it, like of at least doing it in a lot of different games, all you had to do was like fake you were going to approach and he would have buffered it immediately and you could have gotten a huge punish out on that too. So you also got to like work on those mind games. Like how can you influence your opponent and make them do what you want to do when they've shown their hands and things like that. So a lot of different things, but the main thing I want you to focus on first is that Hadouken video and learning how to play with it, because like I think learning the concepts of neutral and understanding what it is probably what you need most outside of the execution stuff. So, Hidden, do you have any questions yourself, or did all that sort of make sense to you? So if this doesn't make sense to you, then I'll just say, just watch the video. It's a lot better explaining it than I am. And they have better visuals than just all of this. Also, real quick, if you guys are watching, if you do want to continue to support the channel, okay, good. All right. If you guys do want to support the channel, don't forget we do have a sub goal. So if we are able to have 60 more subs, reach that 25 sub mark, then we will be able to add another emote here. That just if you're wondering, the thing at the bottom is a bit wrong. We are at 9 subs at the moment. Okay, yeah, definitely Corey Gaming, Way of the Hadouken, but watch everything else on Corey Gaming because Corey Gaming's a fantastic channel.